Hey guys, this is GFX Dude from Tutcove.com, and today I'm going to be going over the Magic Wand tool. For starters, the Magic Wand tool is pretty much a tool you use to select a certain individual color within an image. So as you see, I've got all this white space out here, and it'll pick up the exact same hexadecimal color code as you'll see if I go out here with my color dropper. All this space out here, it comes up as FFFFFF, which is the hexadecimal color code for white. And what the Magic Wand tool does is anything that touches the spot I click, any pixel that has a very similar color code to what I clicked will get selected in the selection. And in the Magic Wand options up here, we have a tolerance of how specific it is to find the color codes. So if we had maybe a rainbowish background back here, we could set the tolerance to very, very precise at 1, and anything that had the exact hexadecimal color code as the spot you clicked would get selected instead of it being more of a variance. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead and use the click selection tool, which I hardly ever use, but I want to show you what it's for. So I'm going to go over the options up here. First off, we have our presets, which I'm not going to go into right now. Next up, we have the it is pretty much just the new selection tool. And what this tool does, the quick selection tool, is it basically lets you draw a freeform selection, kind of like how the lasso tool did, except you're not drawing lines with it. You just kind of go around and it kind of guesses what you're trying to select. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the quick selection tool, and I'm going to be right here on new selection, and I'm just going to kind of show you what it'll do if I go ahead and click and drag around this guy. And you see how crappy of a selection it's making. It's trying to guess what I'm wanting to yeah, and sometimes it does a pretty good job, and sometimes it doesn't, kind of like the magnetic lasso tool. So this is why I never use this tool, because it really sucks. So my goal here actually is to be able to remove this Modern Warfare 2 guy from the white background so I can make a cool little signature out of it or whatever I wanted to do. So finish this up and see what a crappy selection that's made. Nothing I could use. If I moved it around, well, see, it won't even let me move it around. It's so crappy. Anyways, so instead of using the quick selection tool, we're going to use the Magic Wand tool, which is one of my favorite tools in Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and press Control D to deselect what I just selected. And if you'll just watch, I'm going to click out here in the white, and it selected every bit of that white, like magic. I'm going to hold, actually I'm not going to hold shift, I'm going to go up here, and if you look to add to selection, I can click over here as well, and it added to the selection I just had. Now if I didn't have this option, add to selection enabled, if I just had new selection enabled, then when I click over here, it just selects different items instead of adding to the selection previously selected. So adding to the selection is really the best option to do. If we go to add to selection, I can select every piece of white in here I need to at one time without holding shift or doing anything else I need to do, then delete it, and bam, I'm done. So that's pretty much the main key point I'm trying to show you today is how to use the Magic Wand tool to get rid of this white background just so easily. We've also got some other options up here. We've got subtract from selection, which does the exact same thing the subtract from selection did in the marquee tool, and as does the intersection with the selection. Also, I want to show you how the tolerance works. If we go out here and we set it to 32, we'll leave it at 32, and I'm going to select some gray area in here. You see how much of the image was selected because of the gray area? Now, if I bring my tolerance down to 1, and I'm going to deselect that, and if I click the same point, you see how less of an area that was selected. And that's because once it gets outside of this spectrum right here, the hexadecimal color codes are greater than a 1 difference. So that's pretty much why the tolerance is normally set to 32. 32 is kind of a rounded off number, which is Photoshop has figured out is probably best. I'm not sure exactly how the tolerance comes about, but I've always used 32, and 32 is what it came default, so I'm leaving it at that. Maybe it was 35. Actually, I think it was 35. Sorry about that. Up here, you just got a couple other options. You can redefine or refine edge, like we also did in the marquee tool. So we can look in there. You can refer back to that video actually to see how that worked. And so that's pretty much it for your Magic Wand tool. Let's go ahead and finish this selection off so I can show you how cool this is. We're gonna go ahead and press delete. Once we have that selected, press Control Shift I, or instead of doing that, you can go up to select inverse, and we'll right click inside the selection, layer via copy, duplicate layer to a new document, and we have a brand new document here. Actually, that doesn't seem to be necessary. Anyways, we have a brand new document here with nothing but the Modern Warfare 2 guy. So now I can just move him around, use him exactly how I wanted to, and put him on a background, put my own background behind him, really just do whatever I wanted to. So anyways, that's pretty much it for your Magic Wand tool. Remember to check out the new forums at tutcove.com/forums.
Thanks.